from
Mexico.
can't quite tell you where just yet. We are live on YouTube. We of course are going to answer as many of your questions as we can, but today we have a little bit of story time,
Story
if you will.
time.
I get nervous doing these lives every single time. I'm not sure why, but here we go. So I think in moving to Mexico, we have faced different challenges, risks, adversities, and today we want to talk about three different pivotal moments or decisions, if you will, that have led us to where we are now in Mexico, not necessarily location wise and also life wise, and whether we think we've made the right decision. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Um,
Hi
Thanks for jumping
everyone.
on,
Hi, thank you,
Alejandro,
thank you, thank you.
Johnny, Mark. Hola, appreciate it. Jay from England,
We're
jeez.
doing this on my phone today, so if we do this, it's because the comments are a little smaller. All right. For those of you just hopping on, we're talking about three pivotal moments that led us to where we are today and whether we made the right decision in moving to Mexico.
Decision number one, probably the one that maybe has influenced everything, moving to Puerto Vallarta in the first place.
Yeah, so in July of 2016, 16? Yeah, Greg and I
right.
vacation to Vallarta because Southwest Airlines had just started flying there. I found super cheap flights, so we hopped on a plane, came to visit, and decided, you know what, let's give this place a shot. So we booked a place for 4 months beginning in August 2016. We really had no idea what to expect, and we really did not plan much of anything other than an apartment.
Other than actually being here, we had never visited the neighborhood we were going to. We knew absolutely nothing. Thanks everybody for jumping on. We'll answer your questions here in a few. We knew nothing about Mexico. We knew nothing about the culture, very little about the language. Looking back, it seems like that was a pretty crazy decision.
Yeah, I think even though Mexico is our neighbor, we really knew the risks for us were at the time very, very high. We knew that we would be leaving behind family. Thank you, Emilio, for
Gracias.
very first super chat.
Wah, wah,
From
wah.
a super amigo. Thanks, Emilio. Okay, so we knew that the risks were super high. We were leaving our families. Greg had to quit his job.
Yeah.
I knew that this would be a setback, a possible setback in my career as a CPA. I felt like giving up our actual things. We had just been married, bought all new furniture, things like that. We had our cars,
Our family.
our apartment, like things like material things, immaterial things. I knew that we were sort of in a way giving up or trying to redefine our purpose, as that was sort of shifting from being like workaholics in the States to like we were giving this new scenario. So that sort of sets the frame for like everything seemed to be quite risky. We did it anyways.
Yeah.
And we took off to Vallarta, and we got to Vallarta, and I remember asking our Airbnb host as he let us in, like, hey, so are there like restaurants, or is there like a grocery store around here anywhere? Like, where's the Walmart?
we knew nothing.
We really didn't. So I think in those 4 months also, it was known to be temporary.
Right. Well, I would say we booked it for 3 months initially, and then after like the first, I don't know, few weeks or month, we're like, okay, I think we want to be here an extra month longer,
Yeah, that's right.
into December. So we fell in love with it, but we still had the safety net of going back home. We knew we were going back home for Christmas.
Yeah.
We knew, I'll say we didn't know how long we were going to be in Mexico. It was very temporary, if you will. Thank you for everybody jumping on.
Yes.
We'll chat with you in just a moment.
It was a very temporary thing. I think, too, as you were mentioning, the safety net of going back, we brought 9 suitcases. I had so much crap I don't even know. Thanks to my mom, I had fingernail clippers and like everything. I was a Girl Scout, so I came prepared. So that said, I feel like that was also like a safety net. Like we tried to bring as much of the states with us as we could, because we didn't know any different. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. So I would say the first pivotal moment was sort of like, this feels really risky, but hey, we're only going to be here a few months. If we love it, if we hate it, either way, it'll be a great experience.
Exactly. I think we tried to mitigate that risk by only booking the place for 3 or 4 months and just kind of testing the waters out. So I would say that first decision to move here was for sure a success, but unfortunately, after that in December, well, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but we went back home. We lived with Hillary's parents for
Couple
a couple
months.
months. We had initially planned to be there for quite a bit longer, which leads into decision numero dos, moving back to Mexico.
Yeah, I think this was to me perhaps, well, I guess at this point in time the most pivotal decision of the two. And that was, we got back to the States in December, and I feel like it hit us real and it hit us
Mm-hmm.
hard and fast. I guess you could say reverse culture shock, which sounds a little dramatic because we had only been in this new country of Mexico for 4 months.
Yeah.
But because we were thrown in to Mexico into a completely different lifestyle for those 4 months, and we lived an isolated life, and that we didn't have a car and family and friends and things like that. I think the culture shock of just like turning that switch and going back to the States felt very, very real for us.
Mm-hmm.
I started working at my parents in an extra bedroom. Greg started working sort of on the Kinetic Kennons blog and things
Website
like that. But we really still didn't have quite a purpose other than my job and working a ton. So we cut the time short, and my parents found an apartment back in Vallarta.
Yes, we just had to get back to Vallarta to Mexico again. We just felt like something was just missing. And
Yeah.
we're not ignoring the chat. Raul, everybody on here, we'll get back to you in just a second. We have to
Yes.
tell a story quick. Come on.
So we came back to Mexico. We moved back to Vallarta, and this moment was pivotal of the three because we didn't have an end date. So
Right. This was more permanent,
this
if you
felt
will.
more permanent. We booked a place for a month. That place ended up having a fire. That was also a pivotal moment. But this sort of felt like, okay, like this is more permanent. We have a place for a month with the idea that we're going to keep going.
This is
And
our
on
home.
the day we moved, we started making Kinetic Kennons videos.
Yes.
And lucky for me, I married a partner who has the determination of none other and continued to produce a YouTube video every single day, which was crazy. So I feel like that was pivotal moment number two, was moving back to Mexico with no end date in sight. And also
Decision and a half. Decision two,
Yeah.
2.5 was starting these videos.
to like document, because our friends were asking us like, this is crazy, you guys moved to Mexico, and like we wanted to keep up with our families and sort of tell our story, because we knew that the day-to-day was so different, at least for us. So we knew that people would be interested in seeing what that's like, just like we were.
Yes, if you're just now jumping on, we're talking about 3 decisions that have led us to where we are today.
Yes.
And whether we think that was worth it or not. We will answer a few of your questions, but thank you for everybody jumping
Yes,
on.
thank you,
Gardner, Michela, is that how you say it?
Michaela.
Michaela. I don't know how to read names. Fur, Efron, we will answer your
Yes.
questions. We do like the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if that's a good
Hi,
thing or bad thing.
So pivotal moment number two, I would say, is moving back to Mexico, sort of on a permanent, temporary type things. Lori, thank you so much for
Oh
your
my
ginormous super chat.
these eyes.
We're very thankful
thank
for
you,
that.
thank
We
you.
both had to lean in for that one. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Pivotal moment number two, moving back to Mexico with no end date in sight. This to me was not very pivotal for my job as a CPA. I felt sort of like, okay, well, it doesn't make a difference whether I'm working in Texas or Mexico. Like, it's sort of the same. It wasn't as risky as it was the first time I decided to work from home.
And I think at that point we were just doing life. We were living in Mexico. Hillary's
Yes.
working remotely. I was doing the videos. We were doing the videos and living in Vallarta, and then eventually Mexico City. And
Yeah.
I would say everything was going as well as it could be going. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think us being in Mexico and doing the videos and some changes with Hillary's work situation started to make it harder to maybe to do what you're doing, if you will.
Yeah, I felt less and less motivated to work for my CPA firm, especially in the fall of 2017. There was an extreme increase in hours, and it was like 65, 68 hours a week behind my computer. And I just really felt like, since we were in Mexico, like there's a whole different world, if you will, right outside the door, and like I can't leave because I literally need to get 14 hours today or
Right.
whatever. And so it sort of was like a couple months of realizing maybe this isn't the direction, and maybe this is all sort of us trying to find our purpose,
Mm-hmm.
because it got harder and harder to wake up at 4:45
Yeah.
every morning and work for the man.
Well, I definitely think we started to feel pulled in between YouTube and How Those Do More Be More and Mexico
Hmm.
and Hillary's job and money,
Yeah.
and those two things
Yeah.
weren't really going
They weren't in
together,
alignment for sure.
which leads into decision number three, by far the most dramatic, the most stressful moment of our lives, if you will. I'll let you take over that whole situation.
Yeah, this was sort of like the best and worst day looking back. At the time, it was obviously probably one of the harder days. We've both been blessed and are thankful to have had a decently easy life up until this point. So I had a meeting set for in February with my boss. Hey, can I call you real quick? So we called, and essentially it was what I was left with was we do not feel comfortable having an employee work remotely from Mexico anymore. So come back to the United States in 30 days, or in 30 days you will no longer have a job. So I gulped, cried a little bit, and said, I'll get back to you. We need to think about this. We need to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to make this work. And in my mind, I'm like, there's no way. We have to go back. There's no way we can do this. So I hung up the phone and
Cried.
cried a lot.
Yeah.
But as silly or as crazy as it sounds, I feel like I knew instantly in my mind, and whether Greg and I talked about it out loud, I knew like there's no way I'm going back. If we go back now under these circumstances with someone else essentially forcing us to come back, the resentment would be huge.
Mm-hmm.
I already sort of felt that, and coming back under these circumstances would not, I think that it would have left us with regret.
Big time regret, and I think at that point, in terms of where our channel was at, I don't remember the exact number, maybe 30,000 subscribers. We
Um,
just had started to feel like we were really gaining some momentum.
and
in
finding our purpose that we
Yeah.
had sort of been like trying to find.
Exactly. More than any subscribe number, exactly that. I think we started to see what kind of an impact we could make
Yes.
with these silly videos that started off as a hobby, and then we get emails about how we help somebody plan their trip, or somebody
Right.
saw their hometown where their parents lived or where their grandparents are from. And I think it was something more important than any dollar amount, any job, any amount of studying could have studying at the university could have, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was like building real connections. I think when someone tells us you visited my grandmother's hometown that I've never got to visit, that to me is more impactful than saving anyone 10, 100, $100,000 on their taxes.
Yeah.
It just felt like a purpose that was so much bigger than me, but we were making that change. It was something that we could own, and like someone just said, the connection is real.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's interesting because on one hand, I feel like what we do is kind of
Super weird.
it's very weird, strange. You know, we put videos about our life on YouTube. We put pictures on Instagram, like we're influencers, if you will. But on the other hand, I feel like what we do is very important, and I think we both approach Kinetic Kennons as a full-time job, and that like what we do has purpose, it has meaning. Every video is more.
Right.
Even if it's a silly, funny video, when we're making that video, we are imagining you laughing behind that screen and
Right.
hopefully making
At my jokes.
that yeah, those 10 minutes of your day the best 10 minutes of your day. And to us, that is more. It's meaningful, and it's more important than anything we were doing before.
Yeah.
So the question is that everybody's been waiting for, and then we'll answer all of your questions. And I just want to say thanks for jumping on, Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown Travels on here with a nice comment. The question is learning the language, attempting to learn the language, or overcoming that barrier moving to a country we knew nothing about, know nothing about. Thanks for the super
Thank
chat.
you
I
for the
missed
super
that
chat.
name on there.
Here, let me see if I can get their name. Elio Diro.
Eliodiro.
Thank you
Aguilar.
so much for your super chat.
Moving to a country we know or knew nothing about. Moving away from our friends, giving up our stuff. Was it worth it?
That's an absolute yes.
Come on, you guys. You guys know. I mean, hopefully you can see our happiness and our smiles in our videos, and and you know how we feel about Mexico. We love Mexico.
Yeah.
Some of these just isn't. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think that like Greg and I decided to do this anyways because we felt like this was a worthwhile cause. We felt like there's a story. Mexico's story deserves to be told,
Yes.
and we sort of said that. Thank you, Brian. Long-term amigo, Brian, Patreon. Jeez. Thank you so much for the super chat. I think Mexico's story deserves to be told, and we sort of said that as like a punchline in a video, but like we mean it. I feel like every single day, but it sort of still felt like, are we on this island alone? Like, are we crazy? Is this okay? Thank you for a taco de pastor. Thank you, Blue Socks, for the super chat.
I can probably buy two with that.
It sort of felt like, okay, are we on an island? Are we crazy? Like, we need to like do this a few times. Yeah. So we launched a Patreon campaign.
Wiru Senpao.
Thank you so much. We launched a Patreon campaign, and you guys, many of you guys, thank you, SUG29.
Stepped up and are still stepping up.
Jeez,
Thank
no
you.
kidding. I can't even spit it out fast enough. Thank you, Emilio, again. Jeez. You guys stepped up, and I feel like
you're the reason we're here. That's what she's trying to say. It's your fault. It's your fault that we're here.
No,
and we love you for it.
Thank you.
Love the fact that you have no fears when tasting food. You tried more than I have.
I've lived here all my life.
Well,
brave soul. I have to take him home. I guess I have to deal with the consequences.
That's true.
What I'm trying to say is, I'm not going to look because I don't want to get distracted. I think, like, we sort of left it out there. Like, do you guys feel like our work is worthwhile? And I still remember it was like the comments, the emails, literally hundreds. And I felt like it was just pouring in faster, and then I feel like the tears turned into happy tears, and I feel like I want to cry now because it's like, you guys showed us that there is purpose behind our work, and that, like, whether it's a funny laugh or getting a piece of information or showing your old grandmother's hometown, we hope that we continue to provide this value. So I know I'm rambling, but all that to say, thank you guys, because whether it's super chat, a nice comment, an email, constructive criticism, non-constructive criticism, you guys are the reason that we're here, and you guys are the sole reason that we continue to push on.
Yeah, and I think we just want to highlight for maybe people that have not moved to Mexico, that aren't planning on becoming YouTubers, and we certainly didn't, is that I think when we film a video, when we put it on there, you know, we put some nice music behind it, and we try and get some nice shots, it all looks really easy and fun and beautiful, and it is, but there were some difficult or challenging or stressful decisions behind that I think many people moving, whether to Mexico or to the United States or to anywhere in the world, have to face, and maybe that's not always the best decision, you know.
Yeah, and like, it's not always glamorous, and we do our best to make it look easy, but
it's been worth it.
Thankfully, Greg didn't film all my snotty, boogery tears when they were coming out. So we don't necessarily show all of the adversities.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. We do not live an adverse life. Thank you, Freddie. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Freddie. Mexico.
We do not live an adverse life by any means, and we're not trying to make it seem like our life is challenging. Just more that sometimes, whether it's moving to a new country, starting a new job, asking a girl out on a date, that's
yes, girls on a date. What are you talking about?
Whoa, Tom Falk. Thank you. Holy fuck. Can we say that? Can we say that?
What's his last name? Someone said, Paulo said, how can I contribute?
My last piece of advice before we answer all of your questions is to get out of your comfort zone. Like, step out of your comfort zone, get on a plane, jump out of that plane, like way out of your comfort zone. Get that far.
If there's a parachute.
Even if there's not, just get that far. What's up, Joel Kinnon? But I feel like he said it like, what's up?
This is very gets
All right,
better.
now we will answer or attempt to answer your questions. Thank you all for listening through that. We really appreciate it and love all of you guys. To visit Las Patronas in the
That's so
south.
fast. Skydiving, Guillermo.
Puro skydiving. That's how I imagine you would say it in Spanish.
I don't want someone else.
You have to. I've only skydove once.
Skydived.
I've only skydived once, and it was amazing. It was an experience. I haven't done it here in Mexico yet.
It was in my hometown.
Sinaloa. We need to go to Sinaloa. What are like the places to go
Never
in Sinaloa?
seen it.
No, okay.
Oh, what you guys do with that?
Uh-oh, we have an America fan on here, amigos. here come the football chats.
No, Pátzcuaro.
Oh, yes. We're trying to make some different plans for different
Holidays that are coming up in the country.
if you will. How old are you guys? That's an easy question to answer.
I'm coming in at a young 2'8".
I just turned 27 a little bit ago. Puerto Morelos.
Someone mentioned Copper Canyon. We are hoping to be able to do Copper Canyon and El Chepe. However, it is quite expensive, so we are working on that one. But that's sort of a long-term goal.
And we're trying to figure out how to plan it the best way to do it the right way. We don't want to rush into it. We want to, if we're gonna do it, we want to do it right.
Yes.
So we're gonna do it.
Are you Mexican residents yet? That's a great question. That's another one. Not quite there financially, but someday.
Yeah, we're making it. We're
making it work.
Yeah, there were some issues with Hillary's job, and then past that we're overcoming. Open a business. Well.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a weird online business, I suppose. Baby, where? Oh my goodness!
Gosh,
Thank
Shane,
you.
I love what you guys do. You keep it honest, no clickbait. You keep it lighthearted, and most importantly, weird. Keep up the good work. Also, Patreon.
Thank you so much, Shane. We really
Shane.
appreciate it. Every now and then we maybe have a clickbaity title. I do apologize for those, but sometimes it's just impossible to come up with a good title. And
That's the hardest part of the videos, I would say, for Greg.
Mexico's for Golovkin. Comment with how long you've been a subscriber. Like, how many subscribers were there when you started?
Oh, not a lot.
Because it's been a long time. We really appreciate it. I can't remember what your question was.
I don't remember either.
That's okay.
But someone
We
asked
appreciate
if
it.
we want to open a taco stand, and I think it would be cool to open a Choco stand.
Ooh.
I haven't told you this.
I think so. I was
Okay,
just saying that for the video.
Oh. So I think it would be cool to have a Choco stand, and it would be like chocolate tacos of like different varieties. Cool, huh?
Thank
Nope,
you all
nobody?
for jumping on. Oh man, less than 50K,
Thank you,
about
guys.
30K.
Yeah, Choco stand.
Like chocolate, chocolate. Are you guys going to
What?
Mexico City for El Grito? Our plan for
A couple hundred Mexicans for Golovkin.
Wow.
Oh, his question was if
we
we were
get
getting
recon-
recognized more and more.
Definitely depending on what city we're in. If Vallarta is like,
That is
that's like one of the
it's our
times.
barrio.
Yes, I think it felt like that's one of the, like, we get recognized if we're out in the plaza or wherever. Of course, you know, it happens, and we love meeting you if we've met you.
I feel
We
like
love
that's
it.
one of the best parts
It
because
is.
right now I sort of feel like we're talking to ourselves because I don't hear
Mostly.
you guys laughing at my jokes.
But Vallarta was definitely one of
Some
the
guy
times.
named Joel says he's been following you for 28
Wow, that is a long time. I apologize for having to fall.
years. Remember the Choco Tacos from Taco Bell? Thank you. I thought everyone forgot those.
Our plans for El Grito, I think, will become apparent soon-ish. Not like we probably won't announce where exactly it is, but I think it'll become apparent probably
Yes.
sometime in the next 15 hours. I don't know. Maybe
About
not.
then.
About then. Double
Double
bar, Greg Micheladas.
First micheladas on me. Oh man, we just came there.
I could go back for a
Is
free
it
michelada.
Veracruz? I think we are hoping to go to Veracruz early 2019, hopefully. It sort of takes some planning for us to like work with brands, hotels, tourism boards, things like that.
We can confidently say that we are not in the United States of America right now. We are in
I
Mexico.
bet if I screamed Viva, someone would yell back, but I'm not going to try.
We are in Mexico, but we cannot tell you where. I love both your sense of humor. Thank you.
Turbo Pickle! You're
Turbo
always
Pickle
on here.
in the
Thank
house. Appreciate the super chat, Turbo. Turbo pickle. How would you
See,
say that in Spanish? Not in Spanish, but like with a Spanish accent.
I need you guys to help Greg develop his Spanish accent because he wants it to be Chilongo
What do you guys miss from the States? I would say mostly our family.
family. Yeah,
I
that's really
can
all I
say, we'll give
miss.
another hint. We'll give another hint. We are not an Ajijic.
Wait.
Okay, we missed that super chat.
I'm going to give you $25 to know how to go with the tangerines. Did you give them any tips regarding from this? We did not make a video with the tangerine travels. However, we did meet with Jordan
Yes.
and Maddie. We had a 3.5 hour breakfast. It was great. We did not film a video because it would be kind of weird. It would be like setting you up on a blind date with someone that you didn't know and then asking you to make a video and work well together on camera. So we wanted to develop a friendship before we just hopped in front of the camera. We feel like that's only fair to us, but mainly to you guys too.
Yeah, I think making these videos, they seem easy, but especially like Hillary and I, 90% of 99% of the time only make videos by ourselves. So even if we're with our family or a friend is around, it feels like when I did a video with Blaine, I've known Blaine like almost my whole life, and that felt really weird. So of course we just wanted to get to know him.
Yeah.
We had a good breakfast with
Three
them.
and a half hour breakfast. We
And
went through some carafes of coffee.
I wish we had tips to give them. We don't know. We don't know what we're doing.
Tips.
We're just along
for the
about
ride.
the ride. I mean, of course, we talked all about YouTube, and I'm sure we shared some information back
Some
and forth.
funnies that happened.
Exactly.
Did you guys miss Jack in the Box? No.
I've only had Jack in the Box like once or
When we
twice.
made the taco video, you said that was your first
Exactly.
time.
We have not had. I had one. No, we have not had chilies en nogada this season.
We haven't.
But we will.
However,
But
I
we will.
asked our Patreons where we're supposed to go,
And they gave us some good
and they gave
recommendations.
us in our city. So be there soon.
Guadalajara, and they speak way different than Chilongos.
Yeah,
I've
Chilongos-
heard that.
Do you want to show them your Chilongo accent?
They'll have to wait for a video. We've got a Spanish
No.
video planned for the next few days. Well, we're not exactly sure when.
Tacos de tripa. Not quite.
Sí, quizás en.
Un año. Porfa.
Move to LA.
Talking Spanish. You're in Mexico.
Why are you writing your
No.
comment in English then, bro? And
Do you miss Whataburger? A little bit.
we do miss. You must remember to bend your. I missed it. Tripas are the best. I tried to get tripa in Vallarta, and they didn't have it.
What's your favorite Mexican dish? That's a good question.
You guys know what it is. Comment if you know.
Wait, I don't even know.
You know what it is. I say it in like every video that I've ever eaten this. You guys know what my favorite. What's your favorite Mexico dish?
Oh, my favorite Mexico dish is chilaquiles, molletes dulces, pan dulce, churros rellenos.
Teresa got it.
calientitos.
Mole.
Le.
Anything with mole. I think that's like an easy one because I could
Ooh,
eat.
tacos al pastor. You like those too, though.
Yeah, with mole
Tacos
on
de
top.
tripa.
With mole on top. Chile relleno con mole. Hello, Mateo. Thanks
I
for
hope you
jumping
can
on.
screenshot this.
Pozole. Oh, I just talked about pozole yesterday with Hillary, actually. And I think it's
Yeah.
one of those dishes that I'd never had before. It's so affordable, so filling, so good. I can't handle that salsa that goes in pozole. I can't do it. I can only put like a dab at
And
most.
he doesn't like
What?
pozole de
Cuerito.
Cueritos. Oh my gosh, I've never seen Greg dislike something, but I agree that Cueritos kind of looks like dolphin. So there's that.
Tastes a little bit like what I would imagine.
The sauce is overpowering. Does anyone else have any other zinger questions?
Actual. You don't like pozole? Come on, man.
Mole and pozole.
When are you guys gonna bring your family? We actually have several times on and
Yeah,
off
all of
video.
our family has been in Mexico.
My
a
mom's
lot of them
been
multiple
here
times.
twice. Your parents have
parents
been here once or twice.
Yeah.
Twice. My dad has been here twice.
Yeah.
Almost gonna be 3 times. Your sisters have come. My
Each
sisters come.
Yeah.
And they
Everyone's
loved it.
been here.
Have we tried barbacoa? Por supuesto, we've tried barbacoa.
You
We
guys
love
had
barbacoa. Or I love
cajete.
barbacoa.
Yes, I made the mistake of saying cajete is like caramel and
Cajetas not como, amigos. Thank you so much, Mike.
Burmill,
More
more
nightlife
nightlife
videos,
videos,
please.
How about tonight? Let's just say we try to take a nap today to stay up for tonight's events. We'll see what we can
What's
do.
your favorite accent so far?
Chilongo.
Honestly, I don't think I know enough Spanish from different regions
Thank goodness.
to. Of course, I can pick up the accents, but my ears need some
He
work
needs
on
like a
picking
few
up
more
the
years.
accent. But I would say Mexico City street vendor.
Go ahead, do it. Do it for them.
We'll save that for a different video. Why don't Hillary make cooking videos? We just haven't done any in a while. I don't know. Well, we haven't.
I mean, we haven't laid our heads in the same bed for more than like a few nights in quite a long time, really. We've been going, tortas ahogadas suck? No.
Someone
Can
asked
you
if I'm one of the
say
Hanson
chicharrón?
brothers. Chicharrón.
Chicharro. Greg has a Chilongo accent. Thank you,
Hector,
for one taco de tripa at
Ooh,
100K.
okay. We might get two. All right, we appreciate it, guys. Last few questions, then we're gonna jump off. We don't want to take up too much of your time. We do have a video to film this evening. Let's see. Have you tried carnitas? Yeah, I think the last time I had carnitas was in Vallarta. Not this last time, but the time before that. But I have a feeling I'll be having more carnitas soon. Soon, we'll say. Have you ever been to Hidalgo? We have not been.
No, but I want to.
Hidalgo.
Hopefully soon.
If you're not already following us across social media, please do so. But just because we like to look at how many people follow us, I'm kidding. Hillary puts out different story, almost a story every single day on Instagram that I think are funnier.
Such good, funny stories.
Funnier than our actual videos. That's at Kinetic Kennons on Instagram. We have another Instagram, Kinetic Kennons dos. I do stories not quite as often as her and not nearly as good as her, but they are in Spanish. So if you want to hear me try and learn Spanish, that is where I do some of that and post some different pictures and whatnot and our updates. Also at Twitter, I try and put up random things. Also ask questions that sometimes could potentially lead into hints about where we're going, where we've been. And of course, on Patreon, all of our patrocinadores ya saben dónde estamos. And they already, all of our patrons already know where we're at. And we really appreciate and love all of you. Why don't you talk about the gay life in PV? That's a simple question, just because that's not an area we have explored, only for the reason because we're not...
It's similar to nightlife. Like, we can't talk about nightlife that much from our experience. I do know that there are gay-friendly clubs, restaurants, shopping in Vallarta, but unfortunately we have not been to very many or any of those places. So similar to nightlife, we just can't really talk about that.
We have been to a gay bar, but that's a story for another day.
Yes.
It's a good story. It's not a bad story, or I don't know. But yeah, that's just something we can only talk about our perspective and where we're coming from. So that's all the information we can have. Do you know some Mexican YouTubers? We want to know Luisito. Thank you. Isaiah.
It kind of looks like Isaiah. Thank you so much for your super chat.
And thank you all for watching. We really appreciate your support, your comments, your likes. If you missed the beginning of this video, it was all about the 3 decisions we made that led us to being here, and we talked about how I don't know whether that was worth it or not. So if you missed the beginning of the video, check that out on replay. And I think that's all we have.
Yes.
And thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Click the bell. That way you get notified
every time
we upload a new video. And we will see you
tomorrow
from
Mexico.
We do kind of have the same haircut right now. We need to change that.
Ours? No, we don't. Well, I need a haircut. Okay, bye.
Let's see if we can click this churros.